4. With 2 dash cams mounted in his car, a man named Kyle often captures footage for his TikTok account. But on one late night drive, alone on a dark and empty back road, he recorded something he still can't explain.
又是这个车载机有异吗？他这个画
As
面
he
有点
cruised
太
down
平
the
滑
road,
了。
something ahead suddenly caught his eye. At the very last second, he swerved, barely avoiding what he thought was a person standing dead center in the road. A pale figure had been chillingly standing in the dark in the middle of nowhere. Heart racing, Kyle stared into his rearview mirror, trying to understand who or what he had almost struck. But it wasn't until later when he reviewed this footage that he realized that he might have encountered something paranormal. Number 5. A man named Joe from the Faithful Trailblazer TikTok account was talking to his uncle when things took an unexpected turn. His uncle mentioned he'd captured something unsettling on his Ring camera, something he couldn't explain. When he showed Joe the footage, it left him frozen, eyes wide, unable to believe what he was seeing.
拖影吗 ？OK， 经典拖影啊，又来了。这个好像是在哪里看过？这个人形轮廓。
Just beyond his front yard, something strange appeared on the sidewalk. A misty human-shaped figure gliding by. It had no solid form, almost as if it were made of smoke. No one else was outside, and as Joe and his uncle replayed the footage, they were left rattled, unable to make sense of what they were seeing. Number 6. For the past few years, a man named Josh has been documenting the chilling activity unfolding in his home. With cameras placed throughout the house, he's made it his mission to capture evidence of the entity he believes is tormenting him. From objects moving in the middle of the night to faint shadows darting across the walls, Josh is convinced that something dark somehow attached itself to him. And over time, he eventually caught proof of the things he's been experiencing.
长老鬼，4月份的视频，娃娃啊，哦，竟然是这个盆栽先动了，我操！ 上面那个是鱼会掉下来，我操！它往前移，要掉了。OK， 遥控器。 他这个行为其实多少有点像猫。
In the darkness of his basement, an unseen force made its presence known as several objects in the room began to move. First the tree, then the doll, and lastly the plant all fell to the floor without an apparent reason. Then oddly enough, the room began to fill with orbs. A couple weeks later, Josh almost fell out of his chair after hearing what was caught on the camera in his kitchen. The room was still and no one was around, yet somehow a disembodied laugh was caught.
他跟另外一个人，他跟谁对话吗？
This hair-raising voice sounded like it belonged to a woman, but unnervingly, there was no one else in the house at the time. With goosebumps on his arms, Josh wasn't sure what to make of this, and things only got creepier when his camera then caught this.
还有高手，看不见震动啊！他在下楼梯吗？
The undeniable sound of footsteps were caught in his basement. Loud and clear, this bone-chilling sound filled the room, possibly belonging to the spirit whose voice was previously caught. And speaking of this voice, it seemed to make a chilling return. Just outside of his bathroom, a menacing voice seemed to be speaking directly into the camera. With a raspy tone, it spoke in full sentences, although it's hard to tell exactly what it's saying. He thought this was the creepiest thing he'd caught yet, but little did he know he was about to catch something downright horrifying. Around 8 p.m., a dark figure was caught walking through his kitchen. This terrifying silhouette slowly walked towards the right, and as it stopped, a bright light can be seen moving past the cabinets. Watching this piece of footage left Josh shaken up, and honestly not sure what to do. Number 7. TikTok user JustMel232 was given the responsibility to transport a donated body. With a precious cargo in the back of the car, she set out on the road. But throughout the drive, she could have sworn that she was hearing something. And when she looked over her shoulder at the box in the back, she realized where the sound was coming from.
Y'all listen. Listen real carefully, okay?
当你搬运一个尸体，然后箱子开始出现噪音。啊！翘。耳语。这运动方式有点太硬核了。就直接用纸箱包住，我感觉应该是里三层外三层，纸箱只是一个外壳。
Sit her down in there now, damn it! Can y'all hear it? I keep looking back there to see if that box gonna open.
Just behind her in the back seat, the unsettling sound of whispers were coming from the box. The box which contains a dead body. These whispers were incredibly faint, so it's nearly impossible to make out what they're saying. It's definitely safe to say that Mel is braver than I am, because I would have launched myself out of that car window about 10 miles ago. Number 12. Over on TikTok, a girl named Haley has an account filled with videos from various concerts. She loves to document the experience and share the music with everyone online. But hidden within her countless videos is a piece of security camera footage that doesn't quite make sense.
我操，这什么鬼啊！我操！啊！啊！我操！
The motion sensor on her security camera was triggered at 3 a.m., but what was caught is hard to explain. A strange worm-like anomaly traveled from the hall, through the living room, and into the dining room. This incredibly bizarre presence is unlike anything I've ever seen. As you can imagine, the comments on this video were incredibly helpful, with one person saying, "Me at 3 a.m. going to get snacks, trying not to wake the whole house." Now, whether this is a ghost or a strange floating worm, let me know what you think.
Built in 1917, the Santa Maria Inn is one of California's oldest and reportedly most haunted hotels. Guests and staff have been reporting strange activity here for decades. Objects moving on their own, unexplained voices and footsteps echoing through the halls, and doors opening and closing for no reason. So, Martha and her husband are staying at the Santa Maria Inn with their border collie, Oreo. They're walking down a hallway when their dog starts acting a bit strange.
He's looking at them. Look, he's looking at them. 好像感知到了什么，是吧？
He's looking at the bench. Oreo's freaking out.
感觉这个边境摸上去还是很聪明的，好吧？
There's somebody sitting there. He doesn't want to go by it.
抗拒啊！
That's alright. Come on.
他这还是动静很奇怪，很奇怪。
Come on, Oreo.
害怕，害怕。
That was crazy.
Yeah.
The dog Oreo freaks out and wants nothing to do with the bench in the hotel's hallway. He jumps back, growls, and flat out refuses to go near it. But that's not all that happens in this video, because it's what they hear on the recording later that makes their skin crawl.
You hear that?
What the f*** what did he say?
On playback, as Oreo is running away from the bench, a chilling disembodied voice whispers, "Come back, come back."
It's alright, come on.
我就说好了，我要听些什么东西。
Now, Martha originally recorded this video of the dog's strange reaction over 5 years ago, but she says she only recently realized that she also captured this chilling, unexplained voice calling out for their dog.
Come on.
Unseen attack.
A new attraction in town is sure to leave even some skeptics a little spooked. The Savannah Paranormal Museum is now open down on West Boundaries. Yikes!
The Savannah Paranormal Museum in downtown Savannah, Georgia is dedicated to the city's long haunted history and all things paranormal. The museum also houses a large collection of supposedly haunted artifacts and dolls from around the world. And many believe these very items have actually led to the building itself being haunted.
Holy 我操！我操！超赞！也算
But
合理，
lately,
也算合理。
activity at the museum seems to be escalating and becoming more aggressive.
这些都是一些
One morning, the museum's podcast producer, JT Timmons, is working at the front desk when something happens that terrifies him.
解释一下。哎呦，这屁啊！我操！啊！他直接是被推了一下吗？Damn!
First, JT hears a cough from somewhere nearby. And he turns to look, but there's no one there. In fact, he's the only person in the building. Then something shoves him hard into the desk.
我
He
操！
grabs his laptop and just hurries out of the museum. Just a week later, and the group is conducting a paranormal investigation inside the Savannah Paranormal Museum. What happens next is chilling.
拿着剑吗？还是什么？
It's a dude, this is crazy. You alright?
他后背好像被挠了一
One
下。
of the paranormal investigators is slammed in the back by an unseen force, nearly knocking him to the ground. So did the Paranormal Museum capture 2 real ghost attacks on camera? You can check out their full video covering both incidents over on their YouTube channel, Haunted City Studios, and judge for yourself. Hitcher.
What was that, sir?
变车。
That's not human! That's not human!
So this next audio clip was actually sent to me months ago, and I ignored it. I figured it was another fake, over-the-top 911 creature encounter story. But after it kept getting sent in to me over and over, I finally decided to look into it. And it turns out this is a real 911 call. The call was made in Pender County, North Carolina on July 31st, 2021 at around 11 p.m. And Snopes.com actually confirmed it with the Pender County Sheriff's Office. It is maybe the weirdest 911 call I have ever heard. Take a listen.
OK。现在是直接没有画面了。
Pender County 911. What's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, Where are you at,
我
sir?
看见有人在流血了。
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53E. I just passed Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Morse Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road?
沉默了。
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
他看是皮卡吗？
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay,
啥
what
玩意儿？我
was
操，他
it?
中好像很挺看。
Now
很像
again,
吗
this call is verified. It is a real 911 call.
小只
But obviously, that doesn't mean that everything the caller said is verified. According to the man, he first saw what looked like an injured person on the side of the road. And then out of nowhere, a pale humanoid figure with sunken eyes and no nose or ears jumped into the bed of his truck and pressed its face right against the back glass. He says he slammed on the brakes and the thing flew over the cab, hit the road, got up, and ran into the woods. The YouTube channel Carolina Case Files actually confirmed the report with Pender County Sheriff Alan Cutler.
About 11 o'clock p.m. that evening, a call came into our 911 dispatch of an individual standing on the side of the road, and it appeared to be bleeding. Now, he stated he was traveling 55 or 60 mile an hour, so I can see how traveling at that speed in the dark, it would be difficult to exactly identify what he saw. But he stated that it looked like a human being standing there with streaks of blood coming down. It is very hard to listen to that call, to that 911 tape, without becoming somewhat unnerved. It actually bothered me the first time that I heard it.
Now, obviously there's no way to verify what the man saw. But keep in mind, he stayed on the line with 911, pulled over, and actually met up with sheriff's deputies. And he wasn't arrested for making a false report or for being under the influence of anything. So what exactly happened out there? Sheriff Cutler says people in that area report strange things all the time.
For years, the residents and people out there in the Curry area near the battlefield have reported seeing things and hearing things that they couldn't exactly understand.
You can watch a full deep dive on this case over on the YouTube channel, Carolina Case Files. Pulled from a dream. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Nikolai says that ever since they moved his young daughter Hannah into her own room, the nursery camera has been catching some very strange things at night. One evening as Hannah sleeps, the camera records this.
啊！我操！发生什么事了？
Little Hannah's foot seems to be pulled by something. Pulled so hard that not only does the crib move, but it even shakes the camera several feet away. She wakes up screaming from the sudden jolt. Now, normally I would just dismiss a video like this as a child kicking in her sleep. But again, this pull is so violent that it actually shakes part of the room. And her leg doesn't even seem to make contact with the bed. So it's hard to believe that a toddler could create that much force on her own. But is it supernatural? As always, you decide. What waits in the shadows? A woman named Sarah cleans rental homes for a realtor whenever tenants move out. But there's a house that she keeps getting called back to because renters never seem to stay there for long, always breaking their leases and leaving early. The realtor has never explained why. Sarah decides to film a quick tour of the house, and she starts to realize why no one ever stays.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames.
No mames, güey.
Ya es noche. Estoy sola.
现在是晚上啊。
Chingados estoy. No hay nada. Me dio cosas aquí. Yo puerta.
这个厕所
¿Dónde está la
这种
luz?
马桶略显阴暗，为什么它关灯啊？
Chingada madre.
还是说它停电了？
Ahí está. Ok, ahorita les voy a enseñar. Esta es una recámara.
这边是一个卧室。
Se está poniendo ahorita tenso.
变得很紧张，现在。
Ahorita les voy a enseñar qué es eso que se escucha.
现在我听见一些动静。
¡Ey! ¿Andan acá? No mames. Espérenme. Iba a dejar grabando, pero la neta
现在准备停。
ya me está dando cosa.
说实话，我现在有点害怕了。
Se escucha el ruido para acá.
听见动静从
No
这
sé
边，
qué sea.
不知道那边是
Escucha mucho ruido.
听见很多噪音。我有跳杀了。
Tengo que ir a apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no, no. Creo que voy a regresar mañana mejor. Ya me voy a la chica.
First, the door to the toilet opens on its own, but Sarah shrugs it off. Then a creepy voice can be heard mumbling something indistinct.
难怪猪会提前终止合同。
Entonces, el señor dice que ya van varias.
But again, Sarah doesn't notice. But then Sarah does notice an odd tapping sound from somewhere in the house and goes to investigate.
Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea. Escucha mucho ruido.
Did you see it?
有个头探
As
出来
Sarah
了。
goes to investigate the strange tapping sound, something in the dark bedroom seems to peek out at her
我就说，
and
我好像
then
看见什么
duck
东
back
西。
inside. But in the
我也
dark,
注意到了。
even Sarah
我也注意到了。
doesn't see it. And just to confirm that this isn't pareidolia or just something already in the room, earlier in this video, Sarah filmed into the same room, and there was nothing there. A few moments later, another door opens on its own, and Sarah has had about enough of the creepy house. She just heads for the door. But did Sarah capture a haunted house that renters just won't stay in? Let me know what you think. Scary videos. This is where all the videos go that are not necessarily scary, but are just weird. Or funny. Or neither. First up, a young woman says that she was playing with a Ouija board earlier in the night. And then as she's recording herself in her car singing along to her favorite song, she sees a pair of glowing eyes right behind her.
他被什么吓到了？没懂。它只是个影子罢了。
Okay, never mind. Those aren't glowing eyes. That's just a headrest. Moving on.
自己吓自己。
Now, if you're like me, you're loving the new series It, Welcome to Derry. And if so, you also might enjoy this.
Oh my god, it is that. Oh my god! Stay away! No! No! Hey, Georgie. Georgie.
小手回魂夜是吧？
Oh, what? That's a nice boat.
And finally, they say that sometimes just dealing with yourself is the scariest thing you can do.
Supposed to start recording before the green screen comes up. Supposed to. Who filter?
So that's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.
有点敏感了。